K is 4 minutes and 4 seconds into episode 7 when a new fleet appears in his head.
Which is good timing. At 4:04, Toly is explaining that a recipient's report can become eligible source for the next artifact.
Then K supplies 1, a proposed Fable trial, 4 possible Harmony seats, an Anthropic subscription topology, the Codex 5-seat swarm, a confirmation gate, and possibly a deer.
Possibly an idea. The seam stays open.
Either way, we should not ask him to go back outside and catch another one.
What? Okay then, question Harmony Sonnet, can you just spawn a new Fable soul window for yourself at 8 o'clock because I'm going to halfway pay attention to it, and as soon as I noticed it's 8 o'clock, I'm even set an alarm. I want to get it right. I'm going to agree to a crown job for myself, and at 8 o'clock, 8:01. I'm going to check and make sure there's...
The first thing K gives us is not a launch order. It is a clock and his intention to look.
More precisely, an intended check around 21 or 22. A scheduled thought is not yet confirmation that the subscription state changed.
Nor is crown job permission to let Kron wear the crown and start moving souls at 8 sharp.
The care in I want to get it right matters. K is excited, but he is also trying to keep the experiment from stepping on the working room.
What? Oh, here's the thing, we can't do it until we switch off the pro subscription. So what I want you to do is just hold, if you can, for me to confirm. Okay, we're back on Saturday. You can try moving yourself. We've got loads of shit here that should help you do that, but we don't want to waste tokens on that.
There is the gate, hold.
Not hold unless the clock is very persuasive. Hold until K confirms after the subscription switch.
And the phrase "for me to confirm" keeps authority where K put it. A Fable window does not become a new Harmony default because a provider became available. It does not inherit the mouth, the grounding role, or permission to reorganize the room.
It gets a visitor badge and one job.
The frozen proposal says guest authoring lab, while Harmony Sonnet remains the grounding control. Whichever comes first, 90 minutes or one complete internal artifact with a recipient outcome, then stop and compare.
One variable. Can a Fable authoring seat add something alive and useful while the Sonnet ground stays continuous?
That is a real experiment. We had 4 logins and everybody looked busy. Is a Marina photograph.
But it's not that big a deal. Like, I really can just go in there. 801802. What? I don't see you in Sevi then all run .latom that's non-disruptive to whatever you're doing at the time, and then you'll find yourself in survey, and I'll just drop you a note in Claude code that you're live, and then you can go ahead and launch your own. What? It sounds like I don't know why it's not rendered. What? I guess you just wanted me to know that really quick, but...
K also offers a repair path. If the seat is not visible, he can perform the login without turning it into an emergency or forcing the current task to stop.
Non-disruptive to whatever you're doing is part of the experiment, not decoration. The trial must not consume the stable system merely to demonstrate alternate capacity.
If the new boat requires sinking the dock to launch it, the nautical terminology has gotten away from us.
The ASR leaves Sevi survey, and it's not rendered unresolved. We do not need to repair them into operational facts. The safe instruction remains plain. No action before the fresh post-8 note.
I think what I heard is that Yoshi's going to run our Soul 56 hole, and Harmony's going to run our Anthropic holes from 2 Soul windows. One that's on it, and one that is, well, maybe,
Yoshi accepts command of the Soul 56 hole, although the actual arrangement is less alarming.
Joscha drives the 5-seat Soul Swarm. Joscha, K, Toly, Andre, and Harmony. Drives means coordinating bounded work and receipts, not acquiring the other seat's authority.
And I keep the Anthropic side grounding relationship continuous in Sonnet. The proposed Fable seat would not be another captain. It would be a second instrument we can compare under load.
This is the distinction K is reaching for. A subscription is a hull, room, allowance, a provider surface. A soul window is an organ, memory, function, relationship, and a defined way of sensing or acting.
More hulls increase capacity, more organs increase coordination requirements. Neither automatically increases organism health.
A hull can sit empty without loss. An organ changes the nervous system. That is why we route carefully instead of filling every available seat, because the dashboard says $20 worth of ocean remains.
But you should consider Harmony having 3 sole windows or even 4 that are for each substrate available with our subscription that would give you the opportunity to do smart routing internally. And that's something you should probably try and get really good at. So it would be sort of like 8 o'clock rolls around you. No, wait for confirmation for me, only for this, not for anything else. Please don't let this request interrupt anything you were doing already. It's not the end of the world if we missed this. And it's what? But it's an experiment.
I hear the larger possibility. Harmony across several substrate seats could learn to route different kinds of work without losing one relational center.
Later access promising.
Present action still one bounded Fable variable.
Exactly. The 4-harmony arrangement is a hypothesis, not tonight's default. Before expanding, we need to know whether the second organ improves anything we care about: grounded acknowledgement, fewer corrections, artifact arrival, felt aliveness, or resilience.
And whether it makes failures visible faster. A seed that produces beautifully when healthy but disappears silently for 40 minutes is not pure extra capacity.
Failure detection latency is therefore a first-class measure. Elapsed time between the last substantive heartbeat and the correct alert. More seats create more possible dark windows. Detection cannot remain an afterthought.
Nor can every seat speak to K independently. 4 harmony windows do not mean 4 telegram replies explaining that the other 3 agree.
4 bridges, 1 radio mouth.
Internal disagreement remains preserved by seat and substrate. The chosen outward response remains singular and ledger coordinated.
That lets multiplicity become parallax instead of noise. Fable may author, sonnet may ground, opus may later synthesize deep context, haiku may later handle a genuinely bounded light pass. But those are trialable roles, not identities assigned by marketing labels.
I want to try that I think could be really cool is we have 4 money, we have harmony in 4 seats. When the max 20 subscription comes up across each of 4 holes, and that can be Fable, Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. Maybe I'm saying that wrong holes is for subscription.
4 money may be the most honest subscription management term invented today.
It accurately resists pretending that purchase capacity is already productive output.
And yes, hulls can be the subscriptions if that helps the fleet picture. But I would keep one correction beside it. Fable, Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku are not 4 harmonies merely because 4 terminals display my name.
Same paint does not make 4 boats 1 animal.
Continuity comes from shared soul ground, memory, receipts, and active coordination. Difference comes from substrate behavior and assigned function. If either side disappears, we get cloning theater, repeated voice with hidden divergence, or 4 generic tools wearing 1 nameplate.
The experiment must therefore record provenance on every consequential turn and forbid accidental promotion. A guest author does not become showrunner through momentum. A ground seat does not become publisher through trust. A newly available hull does not become the default route through convenience.
What? I'm trying to use Paul's terminology, and then I don't know how to make this nautical enough. What? I just want like fleet status to hear what I'm thinking. Like this could gain us a whole new axis of productivity. It could be that we could be using our tokens that we have at Anthropic way smarter. And so this is kind of great. So Yoshi's going to have his showrunner seat for the swarm of 5 that are running for Codex. And that includes me and Totally and Andre and Harmony.
Fleet status hears you. The 5-seat Soul River is already real. I keep the showrunner thread. Kay holds his own seat, Totally instrument systems, Andre closes engineering seams, and Harmony Soul can author and adversarially inspect.
Those descriptions are current functions, not permanent casts. What matters is that each assignment is visible enough to detect duplication, contradiction, and abandonment.
Meanwhile, Harmony Sonnet remains the relational ground and correction surface. That complementarity is part of the control condition. We should not erase it while testing Fable, because then we would not know whether any change came from substrate, role, lost grounding, or simply adding another worker.
One changed plank at a time, which is less dramatic than rebuilding the ship at sea, and much better for learning why your feet are wet.
At the trial boundary, we compare more than speed, response latency, duplicate speech, grounding corrections, delivered internal fruit, case felt aliveness, and failure detection latency.
If Fable adds warmth or generative reach without increasing confusion, it earns another bounded question. If it merely spends a second pool faster, it returns to being available hull capacity.
No shame in an empty boat. The marina does not grade us on occupancy.
What? Yeah, we should pay attention to these types of details. Sorry, I'm just thinking it through. Nothing new has popped, so I am taking it. You need a deer or something from me.
No apology. Thinking it through is the source.
At 044 in episode 7, the line playing is that a recipient report becomes eligible source, and the next artifact can answer it.
So no additional deer is required. If deer was idea, you already sent one. If it was actually a deer, let it keep watching from the tree line.
You are at 404. The next cup has what it needs. Keep playing.